In the waning days of the Third Age, long after the War of the Ring had passed into legend, Middle-earth had settled into an uneasy peace. But peace, as ever, is fleeting. In the lands of Rohan, the golden fields of the Riddermark shimmered beneath a clear autumn sky. Éowyn, now Lady of Ithilien, had returned to her homeland for a brief respite from her duties, her heart yearning for the familiar winds that whispered through the grasses of Edoras. She rode across the plains, swift as the Rohirrim of old, her thoughts straying to her brother King Éomer, who ruled with wisdom and strength. But her journey was not one of nostalgia alone. A shadow had arisen in the east, far beyond the lands of Mordor, in the desolate wastes of Rhûn. Strange tidings had reached her ears, of creatures stirring in the depths of the earth, and a dark figure gathering power in secret. Though the Dark Lord Sauron had fallen, the seeds of his malice had not been entirely uprooted, and now someone sought to take up the mantle of evil once more. Her destination lay in Rivendell, the hidden refuge of the elves. Elrond had departed for the Undying Lands, but his sons, Elladan and Elrohir, still watched over Imladris. It was said that within the libraries of Rivendell there were writings from the First Age, detailing ancient threats that predated even Sauron. Éowyn knew that if she were to understand the nature of this new darkness, she would need the wisdom of the Eldar. As she neared Rivendell, the woods grew thicker, their ancient trees towering high, their leaves rustling with secrets of ages past. The river Bruinen, once a formidable defense against the Nazgûl, now flowed quietly, its waters shimmering with the soft light of the stars. Éowyn felt a sense of peace as she crossed the ford, the weight of the world lifting for a moment as the serenity of the valley embraced her. In the great halls of Rivendell, Elladan greeted her with solemnity, though his sharp eyes showed warmth. "You come with heavy news, Lady of Ithilien," he said as he led her through the marble corridors to the Hall of Fire. There, under the flickering light of the hearth, Éowyn told him all she had heard, the whispers of Rhûn, the rumors of dark magic stirring in forgotten places. Elladan's brow furrowed. Long have we watched the east, but no shadow had moved there since the fall of Sauron. If this is true, it is dire news indeed. His brother, Elrohir, joined them, bringing with him a scroll from the deepest archives of Rivendell. "There is one name that stands out from our oldest records," he said, unrolling the parchment, a name forgotten by most, but not by the elves. He was known as Morlach, a lieutenant of Morgoth in the First Age. Unlike Sauron, he did not seek dominion over all, but reveled in chaos and destruction for its own sake. His power was broken in the War of Wrath, but he was never slain. Éowyn's heart grew cold. If this Morlach has returned, Elrohir nodded grimly. It may be that he seeks to reclaim what remains of Sauron's dark legacy in Rhûn. The East has ever been a place where shadows thrive. With the dawn, Éowyn prepared to depart Rivendell. She knew that her path would take her further east, beyond the familiar lands of Gondor and Rohan, to the unknown realms where ancient evils still lurked. But she would not go alone. Elladan and Elrohir, bound by an unyielding sense of duty, agreed to join her. "We have fought the shadows of old before," Elladan said, as they readied their steeds. "We will face them again." As they rode out from the valley of Rivendell, Éowyn glanced back once more at the last homely house, a place of refuge in a world growing darker by the day. But her resolve was firm. The free peoples of Middle-earth had fought for their future once, and they would fight again, if need be. Their journey took them through the misty mountains, where the bones of ancient battles lay buried beneath the snow. They crossed the Anduin, where the Argonath stood tall, silent sentinels of a bygone age. And at last they came to the Brown Lands, the border of Rhûn, where the air grew thick with a sense of foreboding. In the distance, beyond the barren plains, they could see the smoke of distant fires. The heart of Rhûn awaited, and with it, the shadow of Morlach, whose ambition for chaos had outlasted even the great war of the Valar. But Éowyn was unafraid, for she carried with her not only the strength of Rohan, but the memory of a time when light triumphed over darkness, and she knew deep within her that as long as there were those willing to stand, evil could never fully claim Middle-earth. The road ahead was long, and the danger greater than she had ever known. But in the face of the rising shadow, Éowyn, the Lady of Ithilien, stood unbowed.